I don't miss having to cry over like shit that I caused, and I don't have to like I don't miss having to go through hell for however long, a month or whatever, because of my actions. And I hate having to apologize, especially for shit that I did. So I don't. I'd rather just find a girl that's likes girls. I mean, there's a lane for everything that you want, and then if the person that you're with isn't on board with that, then like you really need to step your game up and get her. If she's on your team, that means, and you are the leader. You know what I mean? She gotta fall in line, in my opinion.
In my humble opinion.
My humble opinion, because I think there's ways. I think there's ways that everybody could get what they want, right? And if we're talking about like a man um, with a girl that doesn't like girls per se, right? She probably got other kinks, you know what I mean? And or other fetishes or whatever the case may be. And if she grants you that, then like you can't rule her under the thumb. You gotta let go too. Because you gotta think about like the long term happiness that you're gonna get out of what you want, and she gets what she want, and then
Like I feel like sometimes the best way I can say is like, right, I should have 2 kids in my house, and my daughter could not want anything to drink. But if my son goes to the refrigerator and grab a drink, out of nowhere she's like, I want juice too.
influenced by osmosis. That's what I call it. But I'm saying think about it as an adult though. So think about anything that you want, right? That you don't discuss with your girl. You don't think that she may want something that she doesn't discuss with you. So those are like the uncomfortable conversations you have to have. And then once you have those uncomfortable conversations, in the end, it'll probably draw you closer because one, that's vulnerability. Two, there's trust. And three, like, okay, well, I appreciate you being able to be like a safe place for me to tell you these things. And then that shit can happen. You know what I mean? And then it's instead of doing devious shit that you ain't really got to do. It's so crazy. Like you really don't got to do devious shit. I know it's hard and it's in our blood to do devious shit, but like you could really keep it super player, and you could say like, "Hey, listen, this is what I'd like." You know what I mean? You either with it or you're not. Okay, you're not. Cool. Give it some time, right? What do you like, right? Break that down to her that way. You're not fucking with me. You can fuck with the next dude. He ain't gonna tell you what he like. He gonna cheat on you, and you're gonna either A, come back here, or B, say, I should have stuck with the nigga that was keeping it real with me.
I love the fact that you're saying all this with a Future shirt.
Dead ass. I don't think Future's toxic. I think Future be telling you exactly what the fuck he did with the women that said they wasn't gonna do it, on top of the women that say they are gonna do it, and are honest with him, like, listen, I'm gonna do it, and I want money, and I want the fame, and I want the diamonds. I think everybody's like in a truthful lane. And I think the women that are on some like, I'm gonna wait for a man, I'm gonna wait for a good man. When really, I think that's all bullshit because they just haven't met that nigga that could get them out they lane, really.
So they want to be moved.
Not even move, because I had this conversation with my girl, and she's always on some like, oh, morals, 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 morals. And me, my morals been different. My morals just been different. So like, if you never been, put it like this, if you never been homeless,
Yeah, you don't know what morals are.
then you don't know what morals are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or we just live by a different set of morals. Point blank, period. So like I said this to her, and we had this long conversation, and she just takes stuff so personal, but I'd be like, yo, it's not personal, we're just having a conversation, chill out. Like, you got a price.
You just don't know it yet.
And I said the fact that like you haven't come to terms with it, I'm not mad at you. That's just your moral blockage saying, no, 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 I'm a good girl. Cool.
Your moral comfort.
Yeah.
Because you didn't even get to that point where you really need to test your morality.
That's it. And I said, yo, name a number. And then she came up with, no one's gonna give me. And I said, but if they did. And then, oh, that's a bridge we have to cross. We ain't got to cross that bridge. We're having a conversation. That's your bridge. That's your number. So because I will go up and be like, yeah, bet that's the number, and you want some like second thoughting it. That don't make me worse than you. That just made me like, let's get this money. Shit.
It don't make sense to me because for me, it's like, I mean, to me, it's like, I think like men would be able to give a number real fast, right? And then depending on, the person, the number could increase or it could decrease. But for a woman, she'd be like, let's just say somebody, let's say The Rock is her crush, or
Mhm.
Idris Alba,
Mhm.
right? And and they'd be like, yeah, so if Idris is your crush, he came to you with 500,000, you letting it go? Oh no, I'm not letting it go. Like all of a sudden, your crush isn't worth this. But I only took you on 2 dates. I only took you on 2 dates. They were $300 a piece.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was $600, and I was hitting.
And she hits you with the you're different though, right? Like, come on, stop. I hate that. Just be
You know,
honest. Just be honest.
man. Look, I think this. I think going back to what you were talking about, and I wanted to touch on it. My only drawback is when I don't believe that things have to be equal, right? I don't. I realize that people will exercise equality and not desire it, but they're just gonna exercise it because it's positioned or proposed. For example, let's say if I'm like, hey, let's have an open relationship with like me and my girl. She doesn't really want to do it, but she also doesn't want to tell me no. And then because I'm the one that wants to go out there, she's going to try to go out there
Mm.
and not like it. And then get upset that she agreed to it. And then get upset that I'm continuously doing something. But she wanted to exercise it. So my thing is, I personally feel it's only because the equality part was like, okay, well, if you can do it and you let me do it, let's try it. Although I know deep down, I don't want that. Right? So
Okay.
that's why I don't think that everybody needs the freedom. The benefit is for her to keep me in this scenario of having an open relationship. Why not say it's not an open relationship on both parts? Just go ahead and do you, right? I'm not interested in going out and stepping out and sleeping around or even experimenting. But if that's what's going to make you happy and I truly want you, let me you do what you do. Just be safe, be smart, and just come back home at a respectful time or don't disrespect me in any way, shape, form, or capacity, right? I respect that. And it always ends up becoming that because they were only saying yes and exercising the same thing that I was doing because I proposed it. And the funny thing is, if I said, listen, this is what I want to do, I'm going to do it. But I don't want you to do that. Right? Let's say I'm closing that door for them. Now I have resistance. Now she does exactly what you said. She leaves. She goes find somebody who was lying about it just for her to come back to be okay with it. So it's like my real question is, where does this come from? Where you just don't want to see that person really be happy, knowing you can accept them for what they would desire, but you don't want to also, do exactly what they're proposing to make it a fair playing field.
Okay. I think that I think in that case, one of y'all is playing Connect Four and one of y'all is playing chess. Because in the long run, how you feel and you say she don't want to do this, right? And she's only accepting it because you're giving her that form of equality. Her language in her head isn't hearing it like that. Her language in her head is like, could be, could be. Where like you were showing her your immediate cards. And she's like, oh, cool, I'm gonna keep this big joker in the tuck. Just for when I need it. And I'm not only that, I'm gonna keep the household very cool and make him feel that like I don't want nobody else. There's nobody else. I would never do that. But come this girl's trip, I'm holding this big joker. So I think we just give up our hands too early. And I think that's why women are better at cheating than we are.